Hello again, everyone. Here we are, Joseph J. Dadich at your service. I really hope that you're enjoying these weekly e-zine tips because we in turn here in the next couple of weeks I've been meeting with a couple of my private coaches and some of the other our affiliates across the country as to how to become more effective and useful for some of our members that are members of the Platinum Club that are on our monthly membership, actually a year-long membership that get not just this e-zine tip, but they in turn also get our live live audio and newsletter delivered right to their door. And the way I describe it is think Oprah and think audio delivered. So it's kind of unique. We have a variety of guests that go in there, from a gentleman that wrote the book on how to have your kids grow up thinking like a millionaire, to some other sort of interesting hobby type things that go along with life and wealth planning. It's not all just about the strict documents that we talk about, the estate planning concepts and strategies that I created under the 20-minute emergency estate planning blueprint that everyone's hopefully you've become a member, and you have yours also created for you and your family. But today specifically is for real estate investors. Because of the economy the way it is, more and more individuals are turning to real estate investments to help create cash flow for their families. And this is not a show that's going to get into like Carlton Sheets type systems, or Ron LeGrand, or any of the other top high-end coaches for real estate. That's not what I'm doing. But how do you protect yourself? That's the trick. It's one thing to just have an LLC set up, depending on what state you're in, whether it's Nevada, Wyoming, Delaware, Florida, Michigan, wherever. But you need to have it asset protected, and have it protected from the greedy empire and from greedy in-laws should you pass away. And I'm going to get into a couple of these specifics here. But first and foremost, this system I created for real estate investors essentially protects your real estate empire like a Jedi-night. I kind of like that. I'm a big Star Wars fan, having grown up on it. And first and foremost, what does that system include that's different than our regular 20-minute emergency estate planning blueprint? Well, it includes just most of the basics in there. Your 15 critical points, the Platinum Trust. If you're in the Platinum plan, our $1 million guarantee that we've talked about. It's been talked about in the news also. But more importantly, we have specific clauses that we in turn have created to allow you and your spouse and your family to protect your real estate holdings. And these are very separate and unique from a pure business type holding if you owned a restaurant or something like that. So I want to make that clear. These are separate and distinct. First and foremost, your spouse may not want to control or have anything to do with your real estate empire. So the question is, who controls your real estate investments when you die or when you pass on? If you have nothing in place, guess what? Your spouse is going to be the one controlling it. Now, I've put together a guide that I've been using, and it's because we in turn ran out of our free report. It's a $297 value, where it's essentially the 10 key steps to ensure that you have clear guidelines set out for each of your real estate holdings and properties. Some families that we've worked with have 10, 20, 40, 50 different properties, but yet there's nothing centralized. There's nothing in one location to say, okay, here's who I want to be able to control and ask and handle these when I'm gone. Or what happens if you're incapacitated and you in turn now are trying to close on a deal and it's just you on your LLC? What has to happen? If your spouse or another loved one does not have access, doesn't have a power of attorney in place, or if they're in a trust, there's no trust provisions dealing with incapacity, then you're essentially out in the cold. So that's one of the matters. In addition to that, you want to make sure that there's customized clauses in your trust that handles these specific properties with each real estate holding, and that you don't have to go back into probate court. And we in turn have created a system for the real estate investors exclusively, called our probate protector clause. This in turn gives you that assurance that should something unfortunate happen, and you've created your trust. Here's a big difference between our trust, our Platinum Trust, and if you've seen the comparison between our system and LegalZoom, Susie Orman, a couple of the others. Ours actually goes above and beyond and provides this probate protection clause, which essentially states they have an independent trustee that says if you need to make changes, we don't have to walk into probate court every time. That's unique. There's not too many lawyers out there that have this type of clauses that have been authorized by the probate courts across the country. So that's first and foremost. In addition, one of the critical parts of your trust is, and if you can see here on your screen, that we're going through some of these steps with you as to what's included, is you already get a couple of our fundings, meaning that's the critical part of your trust. No matter if you have a trust set up through us or someone else, you need to make sure it's funded. Now, what does that mean? You need to make sure you have assets in the trust. If you leave assets out of the trust, like you have real estate holdings and it's just stuck in an LLC and then you die, guess what? Someone has to go into probate court to get those LLCs transferred to your trust, if the court will allow that. Don't leave it to chance. Take care of it now. But we provide an extra 3 additional fundings. I typically charge anywhere from $1,200 to $2,500 to do one funding, and you're getting 3 of them in addition to the standard plan. This is our real estate investor VIP legal concierge package that if you qualify for, this is what you in turn, these are some of the value added benefits that you will get. In addition, I have a CD that I created because it's kind of unique that, how do you bargain with renters, with vendors, suppliers, or even other attorneys? Well, as an attorney, I've had to bargain with landlords, with tenants. I've litigated. I've had to kick out tenants. I've had to sue landlords for trying to kick tenants out. So I've been on both sides of the fence, and I've created in this little CD, it's a $297 value, the little secrets for real estate investors, the powerful buzzwords to gain an advantage and bargain with anyone and get more rents, pay less taxes, including shark-like lawyers. So I'll admit it, we are shark-like sometimes. In addition to that, here's another benefit you're going to get. 12 months of unlimited landlord-tenant contract review and analysis, plus revisions and modifications. That alone is worth getting the planning done, and I'm throwing that in. We've been doing it here for our clients, and I wanted to get this out to you, so I hope you're really, if you're a real estate investor, you should be looking at this. In addition, you're going to have 12 months access to our Diamond member access, which we have Q&A online. You're going to have email access, monthly gold calls. So you are going to be pretty much set to have your real estate investment empire protected like a Jedi-Knight and asset protected. And there's a couple other goodies. We're running out of time here that I want to be able to provide for you. How do you get this? How do you qualify? That's what you should be asking yourself. We only have a limit of 18, and to get in, you have to email us at contact at 15criticalpoints.com, and we in turn will get you our confidential, no hassle, free application to see if you qualify to get into our planning. So I definitely look forward to talking to you, and have a great and blessed day. God bless.